Hi, I'm back again. So I was thinking I'd like to talk a little bit about our life. I have three wonderful daughters. My oldest is 14, and my twins are 12. And we started a horse journey probably about four and a half years ago. And can I just say that equine is the most amazing creature. Just I like to call them soul readers because there is no line to the horse. I mean, they read your energy. So there's you want to make sure that you're sound before you go out there. Anyway, we thought it's always been my dream. I loved horses. I don't know any little girl that doesn't love horses, but we decided that we were going to embark on the horse journey. And we started with one old quarter horse named Hannah. I refer to her as our teacher. And since then, we now have four, one for each child. And Hannah is in retirement and just fat and sassy and just comfortable. But the point of my video is that, equine, the horses are used for a lot of therapy across the board, and I totally understand why. I have a daughter who suffers from an autoimmune disease, and confidence has always been an issue, but we all deal with confidence issues, just we're not, readily available to come out and say, hey, I'm not confident enough. So that's where the horse really becomes like such an amazing journey, because they really show you maybe some things that you're not really willing to take a look at. There are a lot of different training techniques with horses, and I've seen a lot that is based on aggression, which is obviously not what I agree with. But anyways, that's a whole nother topic. But the point that I'm trying to make is they're such an amazing creature, and they have the ability to really touch your spirit and really open you up. And it's done just that for my children. And so the topic, I guess, of this little video is passion. And what I've learned from my daughters on their journey with their horses, they've displayed such passion that it's so inspiring to me and all the people who are around us as we watch them evolve through their journey and learn. We have good days and bad days, and we got days where we're crying and they don't feel good enough, and then they get empowered and they go back out and they try again, and they learn so much about themselves and what they need to maybe look further into, and I have learned too by watching them and on my own horse journey. So that's what I learned today, talking to all the different girls, and they all each have their own specific focal point in the industry. My oldest is very interested in Mustangs and Mustang makeover, and obviously that's a goal for the future, whereas, the older twin, she's interested in Tennessee Walkers and barrel racing, even though she doesn't have a quarter horse, but she's there's no stopping these kids, and they are a true inspiration, and I learn so much daily from them and from the journey. So I started to think this morning about passion and like what, you have life purpose and what's my passion, and all these people say, well, we're going to help you find your life purpose and your life passion. And I'm not sure, their platforms may be great, but I'm not sure that anybody can truly help you find your passion, or your life purpose, or what's going to financially support you. And I think that's a huge mistake, too, that people make, is that they automatically, well, how can I make money with my passion? Well, that shouldn't be the question, is how can I make money? The question should be, what do I love? What makes me feel? When I watch my girls and I watch their passion, and I've watched them all come off, flip off, do acrobatics through the air. I mean, and they all get back up. They brush themselves off. We might have a couple tears, but they get back up, they get back on, and tough little cowgirls, I would say. But, it's amazing to watch. And so I started to ask the questions in myself, because as adults, we go on with our everyday lives, and we don't have time for this, we don't have time for that, we don't, and at some point you got to sit down and say, what do I love? And try to remember how you were as a child. What was your passion? So I began to ask these questions to myself, and I realized that the horses were my dream as a child. I just along the way, being an adult and trying to raise a family and run a business, and, all the things that we do, we get going so fast that we forget who and what we are, and what our passion is. And so, I guess what I'm saying is I'm trying to pay attention to what speaks to my heart. Those times when maybe it's music that all of a sudden you start, if you're anything like me, I just start bawling. I hear a song, it touches my heart, and it strums the strings of my soul, and I know that that's spirit. When you just cry uncontrollably, or you're connected at that point, and those are the things that you love, the things that speak to your soul. So even though we can't see spirit all the time, it never ever leaves us. It's not something that ever can be separate, because energy doesn't die, so it's eternal. And I think once we understand that, and we understand that we can find access to it, we just have to remember the things that give us joy, and the things that we love, and the things that we feel passionate about, instead of what you're told to do. And what you're told, this defines Jamie. Well, but if I took all the materialism away, I took everything away, I would still be left with what's inside me, and the feelings that I have, the passion that I have, the love, because it really all boils down to love. That can never be taken away. My energy inside of me, my vibration, that can never be taken away. It's just how it's put out. So do we tire ourselves out too much in the mundane life? Oh yeah, everybody does. But it's a fine balance, and I think being able to look at your life and remind yourself that, okay, yeah, I have to be an adult, there are certain things I must do, but to not forget what defines who you really are, what you believe, what you love, and then go out and seek that. So I find great joy in watching my children evolve in the equine industry. We're not doing big shows or anything like that, but it's more about their evolution, their evolvement with these animals, and being humble and understanding that you have to work for what you want, and they've never given me a hard time about that. I mean, they're very exceptional girls. And I believe that having these animals helps to create a well-rounded young person. So, in the journey, everybody has dreams and goals, but all too often we put them on the back burner, and we never ever actually go after them. So what we're trying to do, and what I'm doing, and being inspired by watching my girls have no fear, and just blaze along their own little personal trails, I'm trying to remember my passion and what gives me great joy. And so to watch their hearts open, their spirits connect with these animals, and they all are developing their own little powerful voices that really aren't so little, but very, very big. My one daughter, they all want to have YouTube channels. They all want to get their messages out, So, and I'm proud of them. I'm proud of every bit of work that they've done, because they've worked very, very hard and they've come a long way. And that is inspiration to me as an adult and as our mother to watch the journey unfold. So remembering the passion, what do you like? What makes you cry? What makes you giggle? What makes you have butterflies in your stomach? And what are you afraid of, too? So once you go after what you're afraid of, and once you identify your passion and the things that give you happiness, then I believe that everything else starts to fall into place. So that is my little message about passion and inspiration, and it's all thanks to my daughters, Alana, Sage, and Reese. And we will stop there for now. Thank you. Have a good day.